Hey guys, what's going on? So this is going to be another Fan Friday question answering session. And so today we're going to be answering a question from,
Fluffy Berry Gum Dum.
thank you for saying that because I don't think I could have pronounced that. And the question is, well, this question is for both of you. Who are your top five favorite characters in The Walking Dead? Um,
Oops.
I I don't know that I have five. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to disappoint you with this answer. Um, Obviously, Rick is like number one because I think everybody just kind of like relates to him the most in terms of like his journey. Um, I actually really like Bob,
I had to. Okay.
and like really was upset when they killed him off. Like he was a character that I was really interested in like knowing more about. So maybe that's like number two. I'm totally just like pulling this out of my ass right now. Third is probably Morgan, just because he's so complicated and he's had like such a struggle, such like a difference in his mentality and philosophy and beliefs about like how the world is supposed to be, like in the apocalypse and all that stuff. Four would be
Wait, you did a three? Oh, I'm sorry.
four is Daryl. Uh, I love Daryl because he's another really complicated like guy. He's very mysterious. We still really don't know a whole lot about him. He obviously has like such a strong code of ethics, and he's got like that like internal struggle thing going on because of the fact that like his brother was abusive and all this sort of thing, and but he always stands up for the little guy, which I find really interesting about him. And like he knows how to do all these cool things that like have never been explained. Like why does he know like how to like hunt every animal that's ever existed and how to like drive every car that's ever existed and like shoot bazookas and stuff? Like I mean he's I don't know, he's like fucking Jason Bourne or something. It's crazy. So I love Daryl. Five is I don't have a five. Those are my four.
All right. Well, my five. I'm gonna list them all first and then give explanation as to why. So I'm gonna go with Andrea and Jesse and Lori and. I'm just kidding. I
God, I
can't
thought you were serious right there, and I was like reaching for the stop video button. And I was like, oh my God, my girlfriend has lost her fucking mind.
Hell no. Um.
Jesse.
No, 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 no. All right. So number one is actually it's going to be Rick, and I'll tell you why.
Shocking.
Well, no, actually, some people might expect me to say Michonne, who's my number two, but
Okay.
Rick's number one. Rick is the reason why I watched the show. Also, and I said this on Talking Dead, like emotionally, I feel more like a Rick than a Michonne or anyone else. Like he can be real petty, and he's very emotionally
It's
driven.
very petty.
He likes his vengeance. I'm making myself sound really bad right now, but anyway,
That's all true about that character, though.
I identify with Rick. I do. Also, you know, he he's the reason why I watch. He's the reason why I'm sitting here right now. If Andrew Lincoln did not capture me in that first episode, even in the
Yeah.
first 20 minutes, I would not have watched the show.
Yeah.
And I was just riveted by what's going to happen to Sheriff Rick Grimes. Like, I need to know what happens next with him. Like, I cared about his story instantly because that Andy cry face, man, and where he thinks he's going crazy and he's like hitting his head and he's like curled up in a ball on the floor. Like, I was
Asking
done.
himself to wake up because he thinks he's dreaming or having
He
a
thinks
nightmare.
he's in
Yeah.
hell or,
Yeah.
or a nightmare.
He's a highly relatable character. I mean, I think like everybody who sees that scene can like
A lot of
understand.
people don't like
what,
Rick, and I think they're crazy, but there's a lot of people that like
I don't
him.
know how you couldn't relate to somebody who like wants to find their family. It's like it just
It
makes
wasn't even
sense.
the finding the family part. It was the am I crazy?
Yeah,
Am I alone? and it was that devastation of feeling so utterly alone that would really sucked me in. Like, obviously the action and stuff, but the way Darabont laid that out was just like
Yeah.
flawless.
And Andrew Lincoln's acting is like amazing. I
Yeah, well,
mean,
yeah,
he, there
Andy
were a
got
lot of
me.
people who were like kind of in the roster for possibly playing Rick Grimes, and
I can't see anyone else,
I'm
and I
glad.
don't want to.
Yeah, I'm glad that Andrew Lincoln got the part because
No offense to Josh Holloway.
yeah, Josh.
Well, I like him, but I would not want to see him as Rick Grimes. I want to see him as Gambit, not as Rick Grimes. No.
I
No.
like Josh Holloway too.
And I would love to see Josh on the show.
Yeah.
Not as Rick Grimes. But, yeah, so that's my number one. Number two is Michonne, who initially before I got a full understanding of the character and before I did my rewatches and stuff and before, like, her transition in season 3, like, when she first, or towards the end of season 3, rather, when she first kind of comes out, I thought they had this stereotypical angry black woman. That's how she came off to me, and I know I'm not the only one.
Really?
Really, what?
That's how she came off as a stereotypical angry black woman.
That's what I thought they were going with this. I was like, oh no, like I didn't want them to.
I didn't
Like,
perceive that at all. I
she
thought
was always like, and she would hardly speak, and she was suspicious of like everyone. I was like, oh god.
But she had such good reasons for being suspicious, though.
I know, but
made sense.
I was put out by the idea that she could potentially be a stereotype.
And she saw through people. I mean, she was the one who knew the governor was evil.
Oh my god! I don't deny that. I'm just saying. Before.
Hater.
Shut up. Anyway, obviously that wasn't the
Michonne's
case.
smart.
It didn't take me that many episodes to figure that out, because once, when the governor sends Merle and his goons to go attack her and stuff, and she's like, she warned them, go back, and I was like, oh shit, it's about to go. So I mean, I didn't dislike her for like a long period of time. It was only like maybe a couple of episodes, and I was like, oh, okay. And then she gets to the prison, and then we get to see, like, she changes like right before our eyes. Like, she doesn't want to be an outsider. She doesn't want to alienate herself.
Yeah. Which, by the way, some of the most infuriating and also hilarious scenes of The Walking Dead occur between Michonne and Andrea, when Michonne is trying to explain to Andrea how messed up the governor is, and Andrea just like doesn't get it. It's so stupid. Like, Michonne's like, he has walkers in the back, fucking tied up, and Andrea's like, but he's such a good leader, and it's like, dude, you're not getting it. Like, it's just.
I don't want to talk about her. That's not what this video is about.
Andrea was so dumb.
This video's not about that.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just. Andrea was so dumb. So
anyway, Michonne has grown even more, exceeded my expectations as a character, as a love interest.
Yeah.
She's fully well-rounded and layered, and she's had some amazing moments, which we need to discuss, because there's this rhetoric that, since she's been dating Rick, like, now she's soft all of a sudden. It's like, no, Michonne has had her humanity on display, almost not quite from the beginning, but early enough that it was way, like, years before she and Rick consummated their relationship.
I didn't know that was a thing. Why do people think that she's weak?
Oh, she cried and she dropped her sword.
Yeah, people cry sometimes.
Yeah, but she doesn't get to cry because she's a fucking killing machine or whatever, which is so messed up.
Rick cries. He's a killing machine too.
We're gonna do a Michonne
Okay.
thing later. So I don't want to
Yeah, no, that's fine.
All right. So Michonne's number 2. Number 3 would be, why am I drawing a blank? Abraham. I adore Abraham. I thought it was super messed up what he said, but I'm not gonna laugh. I'm not gonna lie. I laughed out loud and well when he broke up with Rosita. I thought that shit was hilarious. I know it's terrible. I know. But his sayings kill me. Like, that's like picking up a turd with the clean end. Like, his and Michael Cutlass's delivery was always spot on with those singers, and like, Abraham was just this big, bright, burning flame, and there will never be another character like that. And I'm like, I was so devastated when they killed him. It's like, yeah, okay, Glenn, but Glenn was on there for 6 whole seasons, and Abraham did not have that much time, and I just wanted more time with Abraham and his wonderful, colorful sayings. Sorry. So that's my number 3. Um, Number 4 would be Carol. Even though she was off some of the time for me, Carol has always managed to bring me back to her side. So she's been on my favorites list long enough to stay, I would say, in my top 5. Especially when, what kicked off my Carol love was probably uh, when she rescued everyone from Terminus. And Carol has, I
Like,
mean,
yeah.
even before then, like having to kill Lizzie, being
Oh,
able, I mean, it was hard, but Carol is the one who has to make the hard decisions. Like,
yeah.
yeah, okay, she killed the 2 people who were sick. She was trying to contain what was potentially a disastrous situation, as we later saw totally was. She just didn't get to nip it in the bud early enough. So Carol is she has to make tough calls, but she's, I don't know. She's a bad bitch. She's a bad bitch. That's the short
Oh, yeah.
answer. And then my number 5 is kind of a revolving door. Like Herschel's been in that spot. Morgan's been in that spot. Even Father Gabriel has had some amazing badass moments. And it's like he's been in that spot. So my number 5 spot is kind of a revolving door of characters. So
I want to revise my answer. My number 5, Negan.
what?
Yeah, because Negan is, well, and part of this is because like I know what is coming up because of the comics, but like his character is just so complicated and fascinating. Like he is such like I mean it's just like the conflicts that are like going on in him and like all of like his like ethics that like sometimes seem like good and sometimes he seems like heartless and like there's just so many different sides to him and like I love like watching him like act and stuff. I mean, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a fucking great actor. He's pulling off this character so well.
Yeah, that's true.
And just I just like the character because like there's rules to it,
And he does
but
have
you can
layers.
tell that there's like things underneath that we're gonna
He's
find out more about
he's
that this
not a
season.
mustache curling villain. He
No,
has layers.
there are very specific reasons for why he acts the way that he acts, and I would anticipate that we're probably going to hear a lot more about that this season.
Damn, I'm not gonna get back to that Sasha Negan
He
fanfic.
he is a fascinating character to me. I mean, I really like the Governor too. I thought that he was an amazing villain, but I think that Negan is even more amazing because like although the Governor was also very complex, like Negan is like 50 times more complex.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that he's in charge of
Well,
is like 50 times more
yeah. And
complex and
Philip
it's
was
just
crazy. Negan's not crazy.
exactly that's
Philip
that's
was
what's so
off in his
interesting about it.
brain.
Philip was I mean he was
He was nutty.
he was destroyed by grief. That was the problem. Like
No,
he locked his daughter up in the fucking air vent because he couldn't deal with the fact that his daughter
he was
died.
fucking psychotic.
Yeah, he was destroyed by grief and went batshit crazy.
Honestly, I think the governor had some untreated syphilis and it was eating at his brain, and that's why he was so fucking nutty.
He was not right in the head. Negan is actually highly rational, and like he actually has interactions with Rick. Like I don't know what's going on with the camera. There we go. Like the governor and Rick, they were just like enemies nonstop, all the way through. It's not like that with Rick and Negan.
Well, Negan wanted to be friends in a perverse way.
It's another layer of complexity, right? Like he like shows up to their house and is like having dinner. Yeah, dinner at their. I mean, it's just so interesting. It's so interesting. There's a lot more going on there, and so like I can't wait to see how that character develops. It's such a mystery to me. So that's my number 5.
Alrighty, well, thank you for your question. If anyone else has questions, please drop them in the comment below. Also, hit that red subscribe button down there. You do your closing.
If you guys like what we have to say, like our reviews, like our Walking Dead recaps, and all that stuff, go ahead and follow us at RLRashone on Instagram, Facebook.com/TheLivingRashone, YouTube.com/Jill Roby, and also soon to come, thelivingrashon.com.
Oh, actually, by the time you see this, it might be
It's
already.
probably already going to be live. It's going to be in the
Just go look at
description.
it.
Yeah, just go. It's awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys soon.